Yo, what's going on guys, it's your boy Mario here, welcome back to the channel, and for today's video I'm going to be talking about something that I started to talk about almost 2 years ago, which is my top 5 favorite films or film series as a kid, from a kid growing up. But in the midst of doing that series, whilst uploading the second part of that series, I used some clips from online of one of the movies and got copyright, not essentially striked, but like a warning to remove it immediately now. Right, and that was done by none other than the mouse in the house now. Right, so I'm not going to be reacting to any videos today, but just listing out, maybe I show 1 or 2 clips from some of those movies, but essentially it's the 5 films or film series that I fell in love with as a kid that made me want to get into filmmaking, and just made me love films overall now. Right, so let's get straight into this. So starting off with film series number 1, it's the Jurassic franchise, right? Particularly the first 2 movies done by Steven Spielberg, Jurassic Park 1 and 2. Those, I love those movies as a kid growing up, and those movies hold a very dear place in my heart, because for me, like, as a kid watching this on television, like, I couldn't imagine or even start to think about how they made this look so realistic. It personally made me believe that dinosaurs really existed, and they just packed up their stuff and went to this random island and filmed all this, like, this movie with these actors alongside these dinosaurs now. That's how good it was now, and that's how it made me feel. And essentially, after finding out that this was just visual effects and they made this through computers, it made me want to know more now, right, and learn more about the film itself, learn more about the film process itself, and learn more about the director now. And that made me fall in love with filmmaking. So it is sort of thanks to Steven Spielberg that I'm a filmmaker now, and that I aspired to be, that I had aspired to be a filmmaker as a kid growing up. So, and on to film number 2, which is the one that got copyright striked. It's Atlantis by Disney. It's an animation that came out a couple years ago, and it tells the story of an archaeologist who found some like a book, or found out the clues to a book that tells the detailed location of Atlantis, and he took a team of explorers to go find this lost city, and just keep records of it, didn't realizing that they were using him to try to get to the city to find a power source that was located there, right? So they essentially used him for their own benefit. But it is a very truly lovely story, and I've saw that movie a million times. I'm not going to lie, I like literally the movie would end and I would like rewind it from the start as a kid and watch it over again. I could literally talk out every single part of that movie word for word. That's how much times I've seen that. And I loved the cinematography of it, and at the time, again, this was so mind-blowing for me as a kid, seeing this growing up and wondering like how they created this now. And it was really lovely, right? And even today I go back and I watch it with my kid, my son, and my girlfriend, and it really holds a dear place in my heart, and I really hope that it has the same effect on him as it had on me, and in the sense of opening my mind to want to know more about films now and falling in love with films. Right, and so that's film 2, and on to film series number 3, and that's The Mummy. I've always liked exploration and adventure, and so I love sci-fi movies. I never liked these boring romantic movies, not to show any shades or anything like that, but I love Titanic. Titanic was a beautiful movie, it made me even cry. But I just love adventure, and these extra sci-fi movies that was so, I don't know how to explain that, but I just love these sort of movies growing up, and even till today. And The Mummy was one of those films, right? The Mummy 1 and 2 in particular. Part 3 came out a little while after Rise of the Dragon Emperor, and I still loved it because it was part of the series, but the first 2 were my favorite. And Brandon Fraser is also one of my favorite actors, and he really delivered that role of explorer, adventure, sort of badass guy. And he was literally one of my, and still is one of my favorite actors today. And for that, the Mummy franchise hold a very special place in my heart. So number four is the 007 series. And 007, in terms of the first 007 that I saw, I watched that with my granddad, because he's a huge 007 fan. Like, this man watched every single 007 movie it have. I tell you, this man's a 007 geek. And the first 007 I saw was Die Another Day. And through that movie, like, with the whole adventure spy sort of thing, I really loved the franchise. The secret spy with the double identity, and you seen all these mad techie stuff and things, and all these cool gadgets. After viewing this movie, I wanted to see more, so I went on to like rewatch all the old 007s. At the time, we didn't have like DVDs, they were VCRs, and I rewatched all, because he had like all the 007s. And I rewatched all the 007s, and like, even till today, like till this date, I've seen almost every single 007 there is, because I've always loved that from growing up. And side note, I think Henry Cavill is going to make the most badass 007, and I could never see how they could choose somebody right now in front of him. Only if he doesn't want the role, but he is the perfect 007 to follow up Daniel Craig. Film series number 5, the final spot would go to the Predator franchise, especially part 1 with Arnold Schwarzenegger in the jungle. I've always loved these sort of, again, these adventure jungle style, these wild settings now. I've always loved these sort of films now, and after seeing this film and watching how everything, like the behind the scenes, and the like, I was so mind blown again. And this is one of the reasons why I still till this date am a huge Predator fan. And also, side note, Prey was a phenomenal movie, and to be honest, I think it is one of the best movies ever since the first Predator. I enjoy all the Predator movies. To be honest, some of them were sort of wacky and the scripting was kind of poor, but just being a huge Predator fan myself, I enjoyed them. And Prey, for me, like, there was a lot of vibes into the movie. The cinematography was done so well, and just you felt a connection to the protagonist now. Naru, who just thought that she had something to prove now, and just knew that she had something to prove to the other guys, who underestimated her because she was a woman and thought that she couldn't hunt just as good as they would, right? Which in turns, they turned out to be wrong, and she became the ultimate hunter, even killing the apex predator himself, the Yautja. So that movie was phenomenal. And for me, as I said, it started all the way from the beginning with the first Predator movie, with Arnold Schwarzenegger. So yeah, those are my 5 favorite film series. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And if you guys did enjoy that video, do remember to drop a like and subscribe, and leave a comment down in the comment section below about your favorite films. I'm really excited to see the type of films that you guys like, and the type of films that you guys always has loved since your childhood growing up. And if you're like me, one of the last millennials out there, and you're a 90s kid, I'm really excited to see which of these 90s films, 90s and early 2000 films, that you really love now, and that holds a special place in your heart now. So leave it down in the comment section below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys did like, as mentioned before, do remember to drop a like and subscribe, and catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.